The call came just after noon. The principal's voice was clipped, urgent, as if she were trying not to unravel. "There's been an incident. You need to come immediately." When I arrived, children were being shepherded out of the cafeteria in tight lines, their voices hushed, teachers' faces pale. Something had fractured the day, and everyone wanted distance. A police officer guided me to a small room, the blinds pulled shut. My daughter sat in the corner clutching a pink lunchbox that wasn't hers. Mine. Her face was ashen, her hands trembling. She wouldn't look at me. The officer slid a clear bag across the table. Inside it, a small vial. Powder. Not sugar, not flour. Something else. My mouth went dry. He cleared his throat. "We found this in the lunchbox. Do you understand the severity?" But I wasn't listening. I was staring at my daughter's wide eyes, her fear, her silence. She had picked up the wrong box, my box, and I knew, with sudden sharp clarity, someone had put it there for me. Not her, not a mistake, a message. That night, the silence between my wife and me was louder than any police siren. She set her wine glass down too carefully, as if rehearsed. Didn't ask how our daughter was, didn't ask what the officer had said. Only asked, "So, what happens next?" Her voice was thin, almost brittle. I studied her face the way one studies cracks in glass. Subtle at first, dangerous if ignored. I replayed the principal's words, the officer's glance, my daughter's pale, shaking hands, and now my wife's lack of surprise. It hit me in fragments. The locked drawer she never let me touch, the late nights with friends, the way she smiled at her phone, never at me. Infidelity was the obvious word, but this wasn't about another man. This was about intent. If the lunchbox had reached me instead of my daughter, no one would have questioned it. A man found with a vial in his possession, a career destroyed, custody lost, reputation incinerated. I looked at her across the table and thought, she's already written my obituary. I didn't confront her, not yet. I smiled, pretended to sleep beside her, nodded when she spoke of trivial things. But in the quiet, I worked. I copied her phone while she showered. I traced late-night calls to numbers registered under another name. I found receipts hidden in email archives, hotel rooms, wire transfers, storage units. Each discovery was a brick. Together, they built something undeniable. A second phone in her gym bag, locked but predictable. I guessed the code on the third try. Our wedding anniversary. A cruel joke. Messages filled the screen. A man's name. Explicit plans. But beneath that, darker lines, instructions, coordination, references to timelines and final steps. It wasn't infidelity. It was conspiracy, and I was the target. I sat in the dark with the phone, my hands steady, my pulse strangely calm. She thought she was clever. She thought she was invisible. But invisibility vanishes under the right light. The DNA envelope came 2 weeks later. It wasn't about my daughter. She was mine. I never doubted. It was about the man in the messages. I needed certainty. Proof she couldn't deny. The test confirmed it. He was her lover. Not just recent. Years. A double life running parallel to mine. I printed everything. The phone records, the transfers, the test results. I placed them in a neat stack on the dining table. When she walked in, her eyes fell on it instantly. Her face drained, then flushed, then tightened. She tried to speak. I didn't let her. I slid the papers toward her with 2 fingers. Silence stretched. She read. Her breathing hitched. Her hands shook. She looked at me as if I had become a stranger. But I wasn't the stranger. She was. And now she couldn't hide. I didn't yell. I didn't break. I simply said, "You almost killed our daughter." Her lips parted, but no words came. I leaned back, folding my hands. The lunchbox wasn't an accident. You were setting me up. But she grabbed it instead. Her face collapsed. tears came, sudden, desperate, useless. I stood, calm, collected. I've already sent copies. Lawyer, police, school board, everyone who matters. Her sob was sharp, a sound of something breaking. I didn't flinch. This isn't about us anymore, I said. It's about consequences. Her knees buckled as she sank into the chair, clutching the papers like a drowning woman clutching water. I left her there. Driving away, the night felt clearer than it had in years. No rage, no grief, just precision. She had tried to strip me of everything, my daughter, my name, my life. She failed, and now she would live with the weight of exposure. No more shadows, no more masks. My daughter slept in the back seat, her small hand curled against the window, safe, unaware. I glanced at her and thought, she'll never know how close she came to being collateral. The world doesn't hand out justice. You carve it yourself. And sometimes, carving means walking away, leaving the guilty to choke on their own silence. I never looked back. Some things don't deserve a second glance. She wrote my ending, but I rewrote hers.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.